So as you guys look at the tape with regard to run blocking as a group, you all are averaging record yards per carry the first 6 weeks, like well over 6 yards a carry. Gone way down over the last 4. As you guys watch tape, you and Frank and Butch, have you pinpointed anything for why that might be happening?
It all starts with our standard, I think, just being really intentional about, what concepts we are running as like a group. And are you speaking in terms of this last game or kind of
over the past 4? It's been under 4 yards per carry as a team.
Okay.
With the rush per carry.
Yeah. It's a combination of like our intentionality on understanding what different concepts we run versus our defenses that we play.
Talked to you a lot about how well you've been playing and kind of the groove that you're in. I was curious, and a lot of guys have talked a lot about how the game isn't so much physical as it is mental. Is there a point, whether it was back in training camp or some point this season, where you felt things were really clicking for you and you're like, all right, like I got it now. I'm in that groove.
Yeah. I feel like going into my second year in this system, I definitely felt a lot more comfortable. Just mentally being sharper on concepts that I had already learned in the NFL and had those blocks before. So I could have an extra, intent on getting better at them versus like taking in a whole new playbook and being like, younger already.
Injuries and some stuff earlier in this season. He said that he had a little bit of a confidence dip, but he said that going up against Lane Johnson and getting a sack against him like really boosted his confidence. Did you have any maybe a moment like that during the season so far where you're like, all right, like I can do this for sure?
Well, yeah, I had some pretty good rushers the first week of the season, and I go against I think everyone in the NFL is capable of being good, being great if you let them. So my focus is making sure my technique and my stuff is on point, and maybe I can have like a little style to play myself.
How do you think Liam did playing right next to you? First game at a new position.
Yeah, he's a beast. It's like his 5th or 6th position, I think. And he's been productive at all of them.
6, hold on.
Exactly, tight end.
5.
But yeah, I think he did a great job. He's very professional. It's easy to play next to him. He's been around, pays attention, gets better. And he went in there and he did his job well.
It seems like you just got off the field. I got to ask you anyway, with the short turnaround. Mm-hmm. Have you had a chance to look at the Jets' defense and what stands out?
Yeah, I would say that what stands out the most is their style of play. They're very much a read and react defense. They're very fast on their keys, meaning they want to play with speed as well at the second level. And then their defensive line, pretty good. All of them across the board are pretty good rushers. So yeah, we'll definitely have to get into our routine of studying sooner than later because they're definitely a good team.
I just looked this up. They're bringing pressure on, 27% of dropbacks. So as an offensive lineman, I think that's second in the league. What does that say to you?
It means we have to study tendencies as best we can to see if we can maybe get some tails on some of those blitzes as best we can. And, I'm sure our coaches will do that to the best of their ability. But that's what that means.
I said, what was your first thought when you saw that you guys were playing on Black Friday? And I guess now that it's here, day after Thanksgiving, kind of messes up the normal schedule. What's your thoughts about that?
It's interesting. It's kind of cool to think about it, though, because, Friday night football in high school is Friday night. And that's instantly what I think about, just like be my first high school football kind of Friday night game in a minute. But under the big lights, I think it'd be fun, honestly. I think it'd be cool. I like fun environments.
Austin, how aware have you been, I'm sorry, Perk, how aware have you been, if aware at all, of Hard Knocks cameras being in the building over the last week?
Very aware. There's a lot more cameras in the building than usual, so that's easy. And, they don't interrupt stuff. They came to our O-line dinner, which was different. It's kind of weird, but it was cool. It was a cool experience. It's not often you get to be on, television, HBO, so it's cool.
You feel you have to change what you're saying, how you guys interact at all because the cameras are there, or do you keep it consistent?
Oh, definitely keep it consistent. Yeah, definitely just keep it consistent.
And that offensive line dinner was where in town?
We were in Fort Lauderdale, somewhere in Fort Lauderdale. It was by the water though. It was nice.
Last week.
Yeah.
Is it like a weekly thing you guys do, or just kind of whenever it pops up?
Yeah, it's like a weekly thing. We definitely try to get together, whether it's at someone's house or a restaurant. Teron really organized it when he kind of got here last year, and we just kind of stuck to it as a line.
Hey, did you talk to Devon Achane on the sideline after he got injured? And if so, what was his mentality? Or did you talk to him after the game at all?
I didn't get to talk to him. I wasn't really aware of his situation until later in the game. Otherwise, I probably would have said something. But, you know, it's tough. I've battled with injuries. I had a big battle with injuries last year. So, you know, his mentality will put him in place to be great.
What happens when you, because I was going to ask you about that, when you return and then, like you and Achane, and then you're out again? What does that do to you mentally?
Shoot, makes you a monster. Nah, it's you know, it makes you have to refocus, you know, to get your body back into shape. But that's what being a professional is. Teron Armstead's done it a bunch. If you look at all the vets throughout the league, injuries happen to everybody. It's just part of the game.
On another note, I'm sorry, Travis, when you have Jalen Ramsey on one side of the ball and Tyreek Hill on the other, I mean, what is that like? I mean, are you amazed?
Well, yeah, you got Jalen and Xavier Howard on the same side, and then you got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Yeah, it's crazy. I agree. All across the board is crazy. I think it's definitely exciting to be a part of, and, you know, our team feeds into it. You know, we love the style of play we get to have.
Austin, I'm curious, as you kind of enjoy what I think most of us would consider a breakout year here, as you think back to when you came into the league to now, what do you think is one physical trait that you have really honed in on and just improved from then to now?
I'm sorry, say that beginning part of your question again.
A physical trait that when you came into the league maybe wasn't where it is now, and the way you've kind of taken that trait and improved it and made it a strength. Like what's one trait you really improved since you came into the NFL?
I think kind of back to like Daniel's question earlier, I think my mental has been like the biggest thing to improve since I've been in the league. And you said physical trait though, right? Mentally, I would say, or physically, I don't know. I can't really say any big physical thing has taken my play to a different level. Just understanding concepts really has helped my level of play a lot. Understanding situations in football, it's been huge for me. And then I definitely had to get in a different shape, I think, for durability in the NFL. It's just a lot of training, a lot of people getting rolled up, a lot of situations that occur. So I would say I lost a little bit of weight, not too much.